Hi everybody, it's Scotty. Got my fans going, so there's a bit of background radiation. There's some things need to talk about real quick. So, I've not been having a great time of it. Um, my work has been interrupted for 3 weeks now. I've not been able to do any money making for 3 weeks. That's, I mean, at least one full pay period that I just won't be getting paid. And I think that's going to be the one coming up here. Um, the issue that's holding me up is an issue from the IT department at my job. So I've just been waiting and twiddling my thumbs and waiting for them to get back to me, and they're not getting back to me. They either can't figure out what's wrong or don't have time to figure out what's wrong. So I've just been on the back burner for almost a month. On top of that, even before that happened, I've been dealing with some fairly severe swings of depression. I don't normally talk about it because it's not something I like to talk about, even with people who I know and like. So the chances of me talking about it randomly on my YouTube channel were basically none. Um, but I feel like you guys deserve to know what's going on after I've been, you know, not not doing anything, not posting, barely talking to my Discord. So I'm trying to post. I'm trying to get recordings done, but I've literally lacked the energy to do anything at all for more than 3 weeks. More than the 3 week period where I was already not working, and then that made it worse. So I did miss my schedule. I didn't get Tuesday or Thursday uploads for a while there. I'm trying to get back on them. I'm. To be perfectly frank, I'm not feeling better. But I don't know that I will ever feel better. um, this year's taken a lot out of me for more than a few reasons. Um, I mean, I'm even falling behind on my voice actor work, and my director is starting to get grouchy about it. So I've got to do something eventually. But yeah, I'm gonna start uploading some Hollow Knight videos here sometime in probably next week. Um, I might still have a reduced upload schedule, like Tuesday or Thursday, maybe not both Tuesday and Thursday, because I might have to make a lot of overtime to make up for the money that I've lost. Maybe. I'm not sure. We're still not sure about that. My coach and I are talking about it at work. Um, I did start looking for other jobs after the first. Sorry, yeah, after the second week, I was already looking for other jobs, but my city is starting to crack down on the pandemic. So it would be kind of irresponsible of me to leave behind a work at home job to get a job that would cause me to potentially, you know, get let go for real, instead of just being pseudo on the back burner for too long. I was gifted some things recently. Octopath Traveler is one. I don't know if you guys want to see that, but I've been wanting to play it on my PC for a while. I have Lichdom Battle Mage now, and that one is probably more fun to watch. Um, Even without uh, my condition getting worse and then better and then worse and then worse and worse and better and then worse again, I I've been lacking both motivation to do things and the serotonin response from doing them when I do get down to doing them, which has been a really rough cycle overall. Um, I'm not okay. I might never be okay, but I'm going to try to keep this going at the very least because I don't have anything else that I'm doing really. I mean, I've been playing some Magic the Gathering. You guys saw my video on that a while back. There was no sound. That was my fault. I forgot to check that my mic was on. My bad. But I, I don't have motivation for much, and the games aren't fun anymore. Nothing really has been fun for a long time, barring a few small exceptions. Spyro was a blast for me, even when I was chatting at you guys, and I had a good old time doing it. I've been considering doing some Hades for you, but yeah, like overall, a lot of the games I have are just not fun, and that's why I started playing games to begin with, is because I thought that the games were fun, and it would be fun to talk about them with the audience, and it's not fun. It's not taxing. It's not even hard, really. Like, the actual act is not difficult, and my mechanical responses on my games are actually fairly okay for the most part. I'm still terrible at the real time strategy stuff, but this is not. It's not about. When I've been doing my videos, I'm really, really good at pretending to be okay. I've been pretending to be okay for like 20 years, so, I've had practice. But I don't really get much of an emotional kick out of any of what I've been playing, for the channel or otherwise. Um, I did honestly get a great big swell from Spyro, and that's why I stuck with it so long, even though the algorithm was suggesting I move on to other games and kind of break it up a little bit. But I was having fun with Spyro, and you guys were enjoying me having fun. Um, but I'm, without wishing to get too deep into it, I'm kind of hollow most of the time. Uh, the only reaction I can rely on is being genuinely infuriated by something, usually about politics, just in general. And actually, no, that's about it. I can rely on something making me upset, but I mean, even my sense of humor has taken a bit of a dive, particularly lately. It's not that I don't enjoy. Well, no, it's not that I don't want to do things, but it's a vicious cycle that I can't get out of because I both want to do things because I know that they're good things to do, and then don't get anything out of them myself because all of my emotional rewards are invalid. I don't get anything out of that. So, like, for example, I have a game that was gifted to me called Final Fantasy 15. It was a while back. Somebody wanted me to play it for the channel. It it wasn't fun for me. It was so much not fun for me that I spent 7 hours trying to find something in the game that I would enjoy, and I never left the tutorial area. I spent so long looking through the game and trying to find something that I would find enjoyable, and nothing. The characters were lackluster. The combat system was fucking garbage, just empty spectacle through and through. Just button mash and button mash and button mash, and hammer on the X button real hard and do nothing else. It it barely mattered to like target elemental weaknesses, and yeah, maybe that was because I was in an earlier part of the game, but the combat in 15 doesn't feel like it's a thing that would ever get rewarding or feel fun just because of the way it's designed to work. This is hard to explain, but I'll try. In Final Fantasy 15, one of the things that you do is you target the enemy and you start mashing your quick and your heavy attacks, and you have to like try and time them, and that's kind of okay. But no matter what you do, you're still chipping very small amounts of health off of an enemy, even when you're using the guy with the big fuck off sword. Like, he still kind of gives it a wimpy whop, and there's no impact to the combat, even when there's a great big flash of particle effects and the bloom goes crazy and you go, you can't see, there's so much going on. It does nothing. The If the combat feels that ineffectual against weak enemies who you're supposed to be blowing through because this is the earliest part of the game, I see no reason why the combat engine would ever get or feel better, and I see no reason why I should wait for it to get rewarding after 12 hours in, or whatever it is. So, yeah, Final Fantasy 15 took 7 hours out of my life and gave me nothing but empty regret in return. I doubt seriously that if I was healthy and did not have depression, that even then this game would have been anything but a disappointment for me. So that game's a hard pass. Which I don't enjoy saying that because it was a gift from a dear friend who's like, oh, I'm sure you'd love this. And I was excited to play it. But then it just didn't give me anything that I wanted. at all out of an experience from Final Fantasy. Um, I feel like that's a bigger problem than we've been talking about with video games. Not like the promises made versus the promises kept. Like, we've been on that one. But actually, let me try and find it over here. So recently, I've been playing a lot of Warhammer 40k, Dawn of War Soulstorm, and Dawn of War 2 Retribution. But I'm not playing the campaign in Retribution. I've been playing the Last Stand mode. And I was putzing around with Medieval Dynasty and, I don't know, some Divinity Original Sin 2. Try to get into this Eternal card game thing. Overall, the main thread behind the games that are still on my system is that I still want something out of them. I still want to play them. But like I also tried playing Pyre, and while Pyre is a unique and terribly interestingly designed experience, the gameplay feels fiddly, and that might just be me. Because there's this hyper aggressive, no dribbling basketball thing that you play against an AI, and you can only control one of your three teammates at a given time, but the entire enemy team is moving. And I don't like doing that. That's not fun. Which is unfortunate because the game itself is actually really interesting and well written. I mean, it's a Supergiant game. Of course it is, Congratulations, you figured out that Supergiant makes good games, But then I moved down to Hades, and the gameplay is good and tight and well structured, but the difficulty curve is really fucking high to a point where I just turned on the God mode and started slowly cranking up my damage resistance, because playing the game without that on felt like a fucking chore and just wasn't fun. It's difficult for me to judge a lot of this stuff as would it be rewarding for other people versus is it rewarding for me, because nothing is going to reward me. I can't go into a game with the expectation of being rewarded by having fun, because I don't fire the serotonin to feel that most of the time. It's just not in there. So I go into games with different expectations, primarily narrative expectations, or by checking out how the combat feels. It doesn't matter if it feels fun or not. What matters is, does it feel responsive? Does it click? And like, for example, the Final Fantasy 15 again, that did not feel responsive. Well, no, sorry, it felt responsive, but it didn't feel impactful in any way. I went back and tried an old mirror of Digimon World 3, and the combat in that game did feel impactful all the way from level 1, even on enemies that were kicking the shit out of me. So it's really not just, well, I didn't have fun with it, so obviously it's a bad game. No, piss off. That's not how it is. What it is more is, I look at a thing, I gauge what my characters are doing, and I gauge the weakest action in a given instance versus the min-maxed action in a given instance. So I'll look at a thing and go, okay, here's what I'm doing when I'm doing it the most wrong that you can do it wrong, or if not wrong, then just inefficiently, Like taking thousands of light attacks to chip away at a giant versus luring a dragon over and letting him fight the dragon so the dragon can soften him up for you while you pepper it with attacks from behind. You know, so I've been trying to play games for the channel that felt impactful and rewarding in ways that don't involve me actually having fun, because I'm not a happy person even when I'm not having a depressive cycle. I'm a grouchy asshole, and I've made no secret of that, but I feel the need to mention to you guys that it's not just an act for the channel. Um, I suck. Okay, like, yeah, a lot of it for the channel is an act, especially when I start, cackling and like, yeah, clearly that's me being very cartoonish for a point, but God, this turned into a long video. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to enjoy myself more. I'm trying to do things that don't feel like obligations and just that I, you know, get something out of. It might be a purely Pavlovian response, like when you crack open a can of soda, and it might not. I don't know. But that feeling of elation that, yeah, I got it, woo, that, I fake that. Like, 80% of the time when I'm playing games with anyone around at all, I pretend to have those reactions because the fun for me is the acting, not the thing that I'm doing. When I'm playing games alone and there's nobody around to watch and I'm not interacting with anybody, including the camera, I just pick my controller up, and that's the only face I have. I don't emote much. I don't think about it much. I just play and play and play and try and get things going. As a general rule, I know when I'm being properly engaged because I'll start cursing heavily, uh, both in frustration and in like, yes, I fucking got it, I'm getting it, fuck, like, whether I'm angry or excited, I will swear a lot, and that's the only reliable metric I've been able to come up with for is this game engaging versus is this game fun to play, because Spyro is fun to play for me, and it's not just because of nostalgia. Because Spyro is simple, the mechanics are very responsive, and the game isn't designed to waste your time. It goes, hey, here's a fun thing, here's a cute thing to do it with, go get them. That's it. Like, there should be way more games like that. And we've been seeing more of them. Hades, for example, like I said earlier, is fucking, it's a super giant game. It's well written, it's well acted, it's well characterized, it's just fun. But I personally find the combat to be too challenging. It's not fun for me because I don't feel like I'm being challenged. I don't feel like the thing being put in front of me is fair. What I feel like is I'm being punished for trying to play the game, which sucks. Especially when you get to like just the mid part of the game, when you start fighting a lot of enemies that have like armor, and because of the nature of the game, the random upgrades make it feel like I don't have any agency in either how I play or what I do when I'm playing. So Hades is hard for me to like, for that specific reason. Which, fair play to Hades. It's one of two roguelikes that I actually enjoy. The other one being Faster Than Light. Um, but I don't like the roguelike formula. It's not fun for me. I don't enjoy it. It's really very aggravating. It's not rewarding on its own. And I don't feel like Hades itself does enough to compensate you for the brutal abusive gameplay to then go, okay, so you just got your ass kicked for a while. That sucked, huh? Have this cute or fun or interesting engagement. I don't get that as much with Hades. There's a lot of exposition going on, a lot of characters will talk in the background, but I don't get much out of that personally. Part of this is that these kinds of games are not for me. Like, my friend, Blind, friend of the channel actually, who's been doing a lot of the donating of these games, much obliged, um, loves Hades. According to Blind, it's a really, really well designed game, probably because Blind's tolerances are more in favor of roguelikes, and also Blind doesn't have crippling depression that stops them from just having fun. God, that got dark. When it all comes down to it, guys, I'm trying to keep the channel going. I'm not quitting, but I need you guys to understand that while I do enjoy, on some level, I guess, doing these videos, there's been a lot of days recently where I spent like 60% of my awake time asleep on the bed, just crashed, or zoning out while something happens in the background that I don't care about. I've not been okay at all for almost a month now. And it's affecting me in ways I don't like. I am trying to get around it, but this is actual depression, not like, oh no, a thing happened, that's depressing. No, this is clinical, chronic. I've had this for probably my entire life. Depression, which I do not have medication for and can't get medication for. I can't afford the medication. Partly because, like my job, I just went a month without making money. I I I can't afford the terribly expensive medications that would force my brain to develop serotonin at a normal rate or at all. I don't have like an X-ray, but so I will try to get more videos out. I will try to get them out on time. Tuesdays and Thursdays for my uploads. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. But I will try to at least get out one a week for you guys. I can't go back to the daily schedule. It was killing me just to do this by obligation. I do want to do the channel. I want to grow this part of my life. I get nothing emotionally out of it, and that's not looking to change anytime soon. So I have to rely on other forms of reward, like intellectual reward, or, go like, hey, you uploaded a video. That was cool. Good of you. Go make a coffee or something. Like, I have to find ways to condition myself to enjoy doing a thing because I'm not getting the normal rewards out of my head. Because the sponge is not squeezing right. So that's it. Um, that's the update. I missed doing this the entire time when I was basically unmotivated and just laying on the couch staring at the ceiling. I missed doing this. But when I got up to do it, I was going, but why should I put forth effort? That sounds exhausting. And then, like, I would get a huge atrophy swing and just lay back down and do nothing for another few hours. I don't know how else to say it other than I am I'm not a danger to myself because I'm too stubborn to be a danger to myself. But I I have to be dragged out of the like near literally dragged out of the house once a week to go to my Magic the Gathering thing on Wednesdays. Um, and that's with people who I do want to see and aren't just an empty, soulless talking box that I chat at and cannot respond to me. Okay. Don't want to go down that road. If you guys want to help the channel, the best thing you can do is to like react to my shit. Comments, likes, even thumbs down, I don't give a fuck. Like, do something to the thing that lets me know that lets me know you have a reaction and didn't just go, oh, okay, there's a new video up and it's not what I wanted to click. Like, if all you do is stop the video and then down in the comments tell me, hey, cool video, not my thing, enter. Like, that's all. Even that little bit of reaction from you guys helps me out quite a deal. So, stop saying so. Wrap up the video. I do like doing this. I do want to be a YouTuber slash personality because it might not be YouTube forever or much longer, if I'm being honest. I don't even know what I'd go to, but oh yeah, about that. So my Wysant video got uploaded and YouTube decided it's adults only. So my content is adults only now, apparently. Ta-da! So I might have to start uploading my videos as adults only, which means you'll have to log in to see my stuff, which is a super big, like, it's an imposition for my audience. I understand that, but if I don't do that, then I run the risk of, you know, not of you guys not being able to see anything that I do because YouTube will just keep going, hey, you can't see this. Hey, you can't see this. Hey, hey. So, stop. I need to stop using that word. I'm going to do more uploads. I'm going to try and make them more consistent. I just need you guys to be patient with me while I force myself to care about being alive. And that's not me trying to be edgy. That's the reality right now. Woo. Yeah. How about you, Seamus? Is this all is this all too much for you? Am I being an overdramatic whiny biz baby pants? Yeah? Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. See you guys.